by Hyundai.com. Welcome back. We get ready for baseball here at Wrigley. The Cubs have their lefty Matthew Boyd on the mound, and the southpaw this year has pitched well. The Cubs have enjoyed his time this season. In fact, he has been on the mound now 7 straight times since coming back from the knee injury, and the Cubs have won all the starts.
Yeah, for the season, 12 starts. The Cubs are 9-3 in those 12 ball games. He is personally 6-1. Slider's been a big weapon for him. You see the OPS against. He has absolutely shut down left-handed hitters on base plus slugging of just .510. The batting average of 186 for left-handed batters against Boyd.
Ready to go. Ohtani climbs in. And Boyd on the bump. He's making start number 13. And the first offering of the game. Right through there for a strike at 94. Chris Siegel, our plate umpire, as Boyd, at 35 years old, makes the start. The 0-1. Line drive out into left center field. That'll fall for a hit. Alcantara picks it up. And the leadoff man is on. Let's check out the Dodgers lineup. It is presented by Ford. It'll go Ohtani, Pages, and Edman, Freeman, Betts, and Tucker, Teoscar Hernandez, Kike Hernandez, and then Eliezer Alfonso, the catcher, for Dave Roberts. The Dodgers third in the majors in runs per game, first in on base, second in slug, and number 1 in weighted runs created plus. It's a good lineup. Pages fouls one back. Andy Pages, an all-star this year, and JD, a fine defender out in the outfield. He's been one of their most valuable players.
Yeah, he has. Yep. Kind of flew beneath the radar a little bit with so much star power on this team, but he himself has turned into an all-star.
Line drive out into right field and a base hit. Suzuki with the deke and now flips it in, and back-to-back hits to begin for the Dodgers.
Yeah, neither ball hit all that well, but still first and second, nobody out here, so early trouble for Matthew Boyd. Little backdoor breaking ball. Flips the other way. And got a guy up there, Tommy Edman, will put the ball on the ground a fair bit.
He's a different guy in his career from this side to right side. First pitch swinging, drives it to left, and it's gone. And he's done it again against the Cubs, wasting no time. Tommy Edman from the right side is Superman. It's 3-0.
In that 3-hole for a reason from the right side, and yeah, for whatever reason, he saves his best for the Cubs. And Matthew Boyd would love a mulligan here. 5 pitches into this game, 3-0 Dodgers. Yeah, I'm with you, guy, with the scorecard up there shaking your head.
Dodger fans making some noise. Here's Freeman, and that is in for a strike. And strike 2. Sounded like he broke his bat. Softly hit. Horner's got a hustle. Safe at first. And a big smile from Freeman.
Maybe the softest hit of his career. My goodness. Doesn't go very far when you hit it with your thumbs. Boyd makes an outstanding pitch and deuces this crack bat. Little lob wedge in the middle of the infield. That's just gross, Freddie. Come on, man.
37.2 miles an hour. And now Tommy Hotovy has everything going the Dodgers' way to begin. The Cubs played in LA in September at the end of the 24 season, and Edman had back-to-back 2-homer games, and I believe they were all from the right side.
That sounds familiar, Luke.
He got Imanaga twice, and he got Jordan Wicks twice. Fly ball right field, Seiya Suzuki.
Umpire Tendencies is brought to you by UI Health. We take a look at Chris Siegel behind the plate here tonight. He's been in the league for 8 years. He's hitter friendly. Keep an eye on the top edge of the zone. Challenges per game 4.9, and overturn rate of a little better than 62%, 10% higher than league average.
Kyle Tucker stepping in and greeted by some boos, more than some. He swings and drives one in the air to right, and Suzuki makes the catch.
It's been a tough go for Kyle Tucker with the Dodgers. So some of those boos might have been coming from some of the Dodger fans here. They haven't been happy with his work.
Yeah. Oscar Hernandez now. Dodgers lead it early 3-0. Tommy Edman ambush 3-run homer, and now Hernandez deep to left. Alcantara makes the grab, and the inning comes to a close. The damage done. It's 3-0 Dodgers, end of a half inning.
Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Bottom of the first, Dodgers have jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. PCA, Suzuki, and Bregman. Kelly catches, then Bush, Horner, Ramirez, Swanson, and Kevin Alcantara gets the start in left field. He had half the evening off. Craig Counsell's team fourth in the majors in runs per game, and third in weighted runs created plus. Here is Justin Wrobleski. Pumps in a fastball for a strike.
Yeah, talented young left-hander, 288 ERA, 7th best in the National League. Doesn't walk very many at all. Walk rate of 5%, 3rd best in MLB. And he's not a 2-pitch pitcher, but it's heavy 4-seam slider. He'll throw a sinker, a change, and a sweeper and a cutter, but all those pitches he'll throw less than 10%.
Steps off the backside of the rubber, and I mean, in combination with that low walk rate, he has the highest in-zone percentage of anybody in baseball.
And he's done a real nice job keeping the ball in the ballpark until his last start. He gave up 4 home runs in 6 innings. He'd only allowed 8 all year prior to that one.
Off the outside corner. Six shutout innings against the Cubs on April 26th. PCA waits the 2-2. Line drive, and that one into right, and a base hit. Well, we say it over and over again. So impressive watching PCA and the job he's done improving against lefties. As now it'll be Seiya Suzuki in time for the Blue Moon bright spot. And for Seiya, he's gotten on base 20 games in a row, a 436 OBP over that stretch. 41 times he's reached base safely in the 20 games. And there's a strike. And JD, throughout his major league career and continuing this season, he has really hit left-handed pitching.
Well, something's got to give because this left-handed Robleski has been really good against right-handed hitting. One of the best in baseball in terms of a lefty versus righties. They're hitting just .213 against him.
Line drive left field, well struck, gone! Into the basket, and just like that, it's a one-run game. Seiya with number 19, and it's 3-2.
Well, how about that for an answer? After the 3 spot in the top half of the inning, the Cubs respond. A couple of rockets, line shot knock for PCA, and a line drive home run for Seiya. Number 19 for Suzuki. And we're off and running here.
No doubt.
Goodness.
There's a strike to Bregman.
The ballpark is buzzing.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But look, these are 2 of the best position playing groups you're going to find, offensively and defensively. And you saw right there, Robleski normally does not give it up against righty batters. And this is down and in with that 4-seamer, and now it's 3-1.
Yeah, a little traumatized by the hard contact, working out of the zone here. And now we'll see if he comes into Alex.
Bregman fouls it away. Alex, his last 17 games, 11 extra base hits and an OPS of 965. He's back using his bat. 3-2. In there, Bregman, no argument, and he's gone.
Right, a home run replay. The official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. Here we go. Suzuki gets the ball way up above the belt, levels out that swing, puts the biscuit in the basket, and they're rejoicing out there and in there.
So now with 1 out, the base is empty. Carson Kelly takes a knee-high strike.
Leski's got good carry on his 4-seam fastball. He likes to climb the ladder with it, get a head down, and then try to get Chase up.
Outside corner, and now 1-2. Kelly able to spoil that one. That 4-seamer at 97.
Leski was named to the All-Star team. I think it was Chase Burns couldn't go, the young phenom for the Reds, and Robleski was selected. Robleski was born here in the Chicago area over in Hoffman Estates, but he grew up in Georgia.
Hickory Flat.
Yeah, Hickory Flat, Georgia.
Kelly slices that one foul.
Started his college career at Clemson and then bounced around a little bit. Ultimately drafted out of Oklahoma State. He was an 11th rounder of the Dodgers in 2021.
Foul. Played for Matt Holliday's older brother, Josh Holliday, at Oklahoma State. And Kelly spoils that one. 2-2. Tapped foul. He's got that blue glove that he rocks, Wroblewski, and you see it says on the thumb of his glove, it says Worobo. Fly ball center field, but Pages waiting on it. And that is out number 2.
I'm sorry, Boog. I was having a deep conversation with Mike Leary, our producer. It says what on his glove?
Worobo.
Worobo?
Well, it's W-R-O-B-O. So it's Robo, but the W silent.
Mm-hmm.
What were you and Mike talking about?
I was asking if he could pull up the wind graphic for me because I wanted to see what the wind was doing. It's in the ISO. You see it over there? It's mostly a hurting wind.
Bush hits that in the air to center field. Pages is there.
We share with you people, but it's a need-to-know basis.
It's on a need-to-know basis. Seiya Suzuki unloads. The Cubs are within a run. We take a commercial break, and we'll talk to Mike Leary. Away 3-2 Dodgers. Time to send it downstairs and say hello for the first time to Taylor McGregor.
Good evening, Boog. The trade deadline today, so the Cubs have their squad moving forward. But the good news is positive reinforcements are on the way with some of their injured players, beginning first with Daniel Palencia, who is in town right now but leaving later this evening to go to Iowa. He will throw on Wednesday and continue his rehab assignment. And then Hobie Milner also here but leaving to pitch tomorrow with Iowa. Edward Cabrera, who pitched on Friday, will make his second start with Iowa on Wednesday. And then Ben Brown continues to progress. He's doing really well. They're increasing in velocity, and the hope is that he'll throw off of a mound as soon as next week. And then also Matt Shaw is back with the team here in Chicago, continues to get his work in as they determine the next steps for him. And then also Hunter Harvey threw a bullpen on Saturday and continues to progress. So we talk about all the names they got. It's also nice to have some of their own guys get healthy, Boog.
I mean, it's nuts. You sit there and look at this roster right now, JD. You fast forward to the middle of September, and this team could look vastly different. And I mean, again, what you're doing is sitting there and just sort of survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Whoever is
add stockpile. Hopefully, guys come back. And, you know, there's a level too of like there's an expectation that X number of guys will be back, but that doesn't always work out that way. So you can't count on that. You hope for it. Everybody's trending in the right direction, but at the same time, you have to plan otherwise.
On the ground is short, and Swanson collects. Throws out Kike Hernandez. One of the things you look at with the Cubs, you know, slowly, subtly, the pitching's gotten better. So overall, their major league rank at ERA is now up to 13th, and starters ERA is 14th, reliever ERA. I want to continue to see that strikeout rate bump up, but the Intelligence Center powered by CDW and Microsoft, the trend is in a good direction.
The starting pitching over the last, 2-3 weeks has been outstanding. I think of the way Boyd has thrown the ball, Imanaga, Peterson. Now you add Gosman to the mix, Clay Holmes. All of a sudden you're feeling pretty bullish about the Cubs rotation.
Yeah, and then again, Zephyr John, a big arm that you add, and you'll see how it all will fit together. Corner, edge of the outfield grass, throwing out Alfonso, and there's 2 away.
Boyd, kind of like a prize fighter, took one in the chops right out of the gate here, got knocked down in the first round. Now he needs to settle in, could really do with a quick 1-2-3 inning here. You got 1-2, let's see if he can get 3.
All right, you look at MVP in the National League. And how about the comparison to these two guys? Even in homers, Ohtani a slight edge in OBP and slug. But PCA plus 20 in stolen bases. And then, you know, for Ohtani, he's been shut down in terms of pitching. I guess he's going to play catch this week, but it's the defense that separates P. Swing and a miss.
A sweeping curveball here from Boyd. Well executed, induces an ugly hack from Ohtani.
The 1-2. I mean, right now, I feel like it's kind of dead even.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Boyd ready, 2 outs, the 2-2. Line drive, softly hit, shallow right field. Horner almost came up with a spectacular play.
All right, Shohei. That's about enough of that. A little flare last time. This one 63 miles an hour off the bat. Great effort by Horner. You'd expect nothing less.
Great looks. Here's Pages now with Ohtani at first. I mean, I don't know what they're doing in that Dodger dugout, but the backs were really slow, really delayed. I felt.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? I mean, if he's waiting.
Well, I think the guys in the dugout got picked off by Boyd too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He is so hard to run against because he has such a good pickoff move. So you try to read that, and then he'll use that quick slide step too.
0-1 on Pages. Boyd tried upstairs that time as he rubs up that baseball. His last 7 since coming off the IL, a 1.93 ERA. The kick, the 1-1 will not be made close.
Oh, it looked like he started to ring him up. And then ultimately made the safe side. Cubs are going to contemplate a challenge here. It's a kind of move that can induce a groin strain. They're going
to look at it.
The clock was ticking down, and ultimately they had to make a decision.
Chicago Sounders dead call at first base.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Let's take a look. And
it looks out. It's hard to tell exactly. Well, can't really see the glove, the contact with the body.
And again, back in New York, they had this ability to frame it up and do what's called a mosaic and match the shots. We do not have that ability to do it in the truck. So to take this shot with the other shot, I got him as out. It's hard to tell on either of those, though, where the glove is definitely
when the contact happens.
Contacting his backside there.
Yeah, I think they got him, but I don't know if they're going to have enough.
So they're still looking and rocking and
I wonder now, you see Craig shaking his head if they're wondering if they maybe shouldn't have used the challenge over 2 outs if this doesn't go their way.
it feels like it might be headed towards call stands.
After review, the call's been overturned. The runner's out. The time will be changed.
All right. Boyd gets the pick off. We're midway in the second. Jed Hoyer will join us coming up. Welcome back here at Wrigley. We go bottom of the second. Dodgers lead at 3-2. And President of Baseball Operations, Jed Hoyer, joining us in the booth as Nico Hoerner lifts one in the air out towards left center. And Teoscar Hernandez makes the catch. Oh, so a busy few days. How much sleep have you got?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. This could be an incoherent interview, you know.
All right, we'll cover you. How do you feel about what you did?
Good. You know, I was saying earlier to the group, you know, this is a really good, you know, it's a really good team, a really good position player group, and the pitching staff has really fought through pretty unbelievable adversity, you know, with the pitching injuries and everything, and we've survived it, and felt really important to, you know, build the reinforcements here at the deadline. And so obviously, you know, getting 2 starters in the big leagues, you know, getting a starter that we'll have in AAA, and then obviously getting another reliever is super helpful. You know, we needed that depth. We needed to add just more pitchers. You know, I think the guys have worked so hard, and I think that the guys that have stepped up and done a good job to put us in this position. It felt like the right thing to do to, you know, to add those reinforcements with, you know, 50 games and hopefully October left.
Yeah, but not just, you know, guys like Body. These are quality pitchers that you've added, you know, with Gosman and Holmes. There's some resumes there. Zephyr John's been on a real nice roll here lately with that big fastball. So we really upgraded the whole pitching staff, not in terms of just quantity, but quality.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was joking with Kevin Gosman earlier. He was like the white whale for us when he was with the Orioles. Theo and I were obsessed with him. We tried to get him over and over, and then he ended up going to, you know, the Braves and the Reds, and you know, we didn't sign him on a short deal. He went to the Giants, and great job by them. We were so mad. We've been on this guy forever, and then he got away from us. And so I was joking with him. He said, "Yeah, I knew you guys were always after me." And then obviously Clay Holmes, you know, really good sinker. One of the best sinkers in the game, obviously dominant closer, you know, really good conversion to the rotation, and I think with our defense he fits well. He keeps the ball in the ballpark really well. So yeah, those 2 guys, they both, you know, pressure situations. They both, you know, done it for a long time, and I think that is important. And then yeah, Zephyr John's got a great arm. We have, you know, a lot of control of him, and you know, hopefully he's just coming into his own. And obviously, I hope some of these guys are going to come back healthy too. That's the other thing with this, you know, with this deadline. It was important to add reinforcements. We don't know with those guys, you know, what their health situation is going to be, but you know, we have a number of guys that are, you know, either they're on rehabs or starting rehabs, and we felt like that, you know, that'd be the ideal situation if those guys can come back healthy as well. But this season, given how it's gone, we weren't going to take any chances.
Yeah, and then it's sort of, in terms of roster construction, it's survival of the fittest, right? Who's ever pitching well, and just you put the puzzle together. Yeah,
and then Craig is so unbelievably good at that. You know, I think what he's done already with a bullpen that's had guys running in and out of it all year. I think we've used 35 pitchers already this year. I mean, so much credit to him and Tommy for being able to handle that and just have outgetters, in his words, right? And I think he does a really good job piecing that puzzle together. And I think now this is just a puzzle it's a more talented puzzle.
Yeah, there's no question about it. With Jed Hoyer here in the broadcast booth is a very active trade deadline. And Swanson will take his base. How hard was it to give up Rojas and as well Ballesteros?
Very hard. I mean, I think we gave up a lot of good players at the deadline. You have to. You know, we're getting good players. You're going to give up good players. The thing that we were aware of and focused on is that, you know, we have a lot of really good infielders. Owen Ayers really has emerged this year from a catching standpoint. Bateman's a center fielder. We have a
pretty good one of those.
Solid center fielder.
Yeah.
So You know, certainly we were trying to stay away from giving up much pitching because that's where we don't have a lot of strength.
Oh boy, this is clobbered, but it curls foul. Alcantara absolutely unloads.
I think he got to the ballpark today about an hour before the game. We were trying to figure out when he was going to get here. I told Counts he was going to homer because he was going to get here quick. So I needed that ball to stay fair for bragging rights. But yeah, no, we obviously you have to give up talent to get talent. That part is real, and but we wanted to make sure we were giving up talent in some areas that I think we have some major league talent and some additional minor league talent.
The 1-2.
I'm always curious of the mechanics of these deals and how they go down, the conversations, and when you ultimately get it done. I mean, were you ever, thought like maybe you were out on Gausman or Holmes, or how does that all shake out?
Yeah, something I learned early on. He always talk about.
Oh, Jen.
There you go.
On its way. Gone. Kevin Alcantara. A 2-run homer. He got to the ballpark an hour before first pitch. And his first homer. 4-3 Cubs on top. His first big league homer. And the Cubs have the lead.
What a moment for Kevin Alcantara. This home run brought to you by Hefty. Strength you can trust.
You don't see guys homered in twice in one at bat very often. That was impressive.
And just that quickly, the Cubs on top. All right, so
we were talking about the mechanics of the trade and how it all goes down.
Yeah, a lot of deals end up feeling like they're going to fall apart at some point. That's just the nature of it. You got, especially in a market like this, you've got very few sellers and a lot of buyers, and so that these guys are getting phone calls all the time, and so sometimes a team will propose something, and you'll think you might be close to a deal, and they'll call back and they got another deal, or they'll want you to go up a little bit because someone else came in, and it's hard to get things over the line.
Like real estate, right? If you're trying to buy a property.
It's hard to get things over the line. There's no question.
Can we keep you for another half inning?
You got it.
All right. Jed Hoyer with us here in the booth. Kevin Alcantara, first major league homer, and it gives the Cubs the lead. They're on top of the Dodgers 4-3. Top of the third. And Andy Paez was at the plate when Boyd picked off Ohtani.
So, JD, you're asking about getting deals across. Yeah, it's very difficult. I feel like to actually get a deal finalized, you got to get to a yes. You got to get through the medical process. Ownership approval. Sometimes it can be a long process, and it always feels like at each step of the way it's kind of fraught with danger. I always say the biggest thing is, you just don't know who likes what players. You might think you got a great proposal, and they just like, I don't like those two guys, and then they'll send two guys to you that you like less than the two guys you sent. And I mean, it really is, in the eye of the beholder. And I think that's the fascinating thing with all these deals is that teams have different evaluations, guys. It would be boring if it wasn't that way, but it makes deal making really fascinating.
Has that shifted though? I feel like more and more teams view things fairly similarly. Has it shifted more in the last 10-15 years that you more frequently are aligned in that stuff, or still no, there are outliers?
Even with everyone having models, you still have pretty big gaps in evaluation. So I think it was far greater 20 years ago that you would have a lot bigger gaps. But even now, even with analytics what they are, we still have pretty big gaps in that.
Okay. What are some of the things that surprised you in the macro at the trade deadline?
It was a very strange year. With the American League was very bunched up, and there's just so many teams around 500, and some were buying and some were selling, and you're sort of used to kind of knowing who the buyers and who the sellers are. And this year it felt very muddled. There was teams that were, kind of right in the race with 30% playoff odds that sold, and there was teams that, you know, slightly lower than that made the opposite decision. And I think that was different this year than some other years.
Not to wet blanket this whole thing, but do you think that the potential work stoppage impacted the market at all?
It's a good question. It wasn't something people were talking about, but I could easily see how it would. You know, the players that people are always concerned about or thinking about are the guys that have just next year. I think the guys with longer control than that is not a factor. I think the guys that are rentals, it's not a factor, but it's the guy that, you know, for next year. But so yeah, I think it's always a topic of conversation around the league, but it didn't feel like it inhibited deals in any way.
Cubs lead at 4-3. First big league homer for Kevin Alcantara. Tommy Edman homered earlier in the game. And Jed Hoyer, when you look at where the Cubs are right now, you're going up against the Dodgers right after the Yankees. I mean, it looks like you view this team as a team that's capable of matching up with what, most anyone.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team you've got to be able to get through, right? They've earned that, and obviously they went out and got Skubal to make themselves even better, and they do everything well. Look, I mean, the guy at the plate, just a lefty killer, right? He's hitting third in their lineup, and he kills lefties. And it just feels like they have an answer for everything. That they have a great roster, and they've got superstar talent. So, you know, they're the team that has to get knocked out, right? You have to knock out the champ.
I feel like they always have like a top 5 rotation on the injured list, just waiting, right, to join the fray.
They do, I know. I mean, and I thought last year you couldn't have scripted it or planned it better for them. They had, you know, Snell came off at the perfect time and was throwing the ball great. Ohtani was throwing the ball well. I mean, all those guys were kind of optimized at the perfect time. And obviously the LCS, they barely gave up any runs at all.
On the ground to the right side, Horner collects, throws to first, and Boyd gets him 1-2-3. Appreciate you stopping by, and yeah, really cool to see the day and the way things all played out.
Always, thank you guys, I appreciate it.
There's the homer. "6-5, where winning is everything." Pitch in for a strike to Seiya Suzuki. The Cubs have gotten homers from Suzuki and Alcantara and lead this 4-3.
That wasn't hitter friendly, top of the zone, Chris Siegel.
No. 0-2. Center field, Pages waits. Downstairs, and here's Taylor McGregor.
Well, Boog, we've documented a lot how Alex Bregman has gone back and forth between Dansby Swanson's bat and his own bat. Dansby swings the heaviest bat on the team, and both him and Bregman's bats are the same length. Dansby's is just 2 ounces heavier. So today in a clubhouse, I asked him, well, I don't understand why you would go back to your own bat after you got several hits with Dansby's. And he said, well, I feel like that bat is swinging me. So it's time to go back to my own bat.
Line towards left center field. That'll split the gap and bang up against the bullpen door. Bregman to second, and he's in. Well, he's swinging that bat right there.
Indeed. The one-out double for Alex Bregman. This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year and 200,000-mile warranty on every new car. That's after being quiet against that Yankee pitching staff, making some noise here tonight. Dodgers were just swept over the weekend by the Red Sox. Their longest losing streak of the season is 4.
Carson Kelly, deep to left. Out of here. A 2-run homer, and the Cubs have a 6-3 lead. Number 7.
Craig Counsell put him in the cleanup spot tonight. He said, all right, I guess I'm supposed to slug, and he delivers. Man, 3 long balls by the Cubs, 3 2-run shots. And the time now for the Motorola Razor replay. And no doubter. Launch mode for Carson Kelly. That's 7 home runs allowed by Wroblewski in his last 2 starts.
So the Cubs with a 6-3 advantage here at the bottom of the 3rd.
Cubs exacting a little revenge on Wroblewski, who threw 6 shutout innings against them back in April. Juices are wild.
Swing and a miss, and Bush is gone. So the home run had not been as big a part of the Cub offense the last 6 games. Certainly a team, though, we've seen it. You got a bunch of guys that can.
Yeah, they got certainly plenty of slug in that line. I mean, I think they probably talked about it in their hitters meeting. Let's hit more homers.
Oh, give me that again, Last Diaz. That was a no swing? Like riding the motorcycle? Last Diaz, our crew chief. Every game tonight on a homer. And what about it, Laz? Did he go? Check swing. Vroom.
Well, the previous one was pretty much the same spot.
Strike call.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. It was called a strike, and it's a ball.
If this is a ball, the count got 2 challenges remaining.
And Nico will take his base.
Nico, with the bases loaded in yesterday's game, failed to challenge a pitch that was out of the zone. I mean,
that would have forced in a run.
Yeah.
And Craig Counsell after the game said, yeah, I'm sure if Nico's had a look at it, and I'm sure he wishes he had challenged that.
One of those things, I guess, you have to remind yourself going into an at-bat that there's so much to think about.
Pedro Ramirez starting at third base. Bregman is doing the DHing as Pedro goes the other way. Now 6 for 17 right-handed. Most of his chances have been left-handed. That's his better side. JD, he's impressive.
Yeah, he's the player, Boog. Switch hitter, hits the ball hard, runs well. Played multiple positions, just a kid.
Craig Counsell talked about him. I mean, he felt it in spring training. Just a high IQ player, very talented, and you're still talking about a guy who's 22. He was in the same signing class as Moises Ballesteros. And I mean, Mo got a big signing bonus. Ballesteros held out and then ultimately settled for $75 grand. It's towards third. An ice cream cone for Kike Hernandez. Carson Kelly. Bang. And the Cubs lead at 6-3. Well, back here, top half of the fourth. And the Dodgers will have Mookie Betts to start it off. Betts, Tucker, and Teoscar Hernandez. And that is in for a strike to Marcus Lynn Betts. And that's a strike. 0-2.
Flips up that curveball and settles into the top of the zone. And then buries one in the dirt looking for Chase. That's a good 0-2 breaking ball there.
You guys are connected like lefties are.
Now he's going to cheese him down and away.
Pushing the buttons. Nobody on, nobody out. Here's a 1-2.
Backdoor slider. That's a guy who, you know, the number's obviously off. I mean, just 229.
Fly ball, right field, Suzuki with PCA at his side. Seiya makes the catch. A couple of Cubs fans. Jeff Garland on the right. Jeff Garland's got a new photography book coming out, which is cool. And Bob Odenkirk, of course, on the left. Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. Those are our Hollywood guys.
Yeah, yeah. Big Cub fans. They watch all the time.
Huge Cub fans. The 1-0. Check swing. Didn't go. That's Brian O'Nora. What do you make of the boos for Kyle Tucker?
Well, yeah, I think, you know, I think that the narrative turned ugly for Kyle in the second half of last year, and then Cub fans just weren't happy with his performance. You know, he carries himself in a way that I think a lot of people think he doesn't care. I don't necessarily buy that. And I'm guessing by the time his time with the Dodgers is done, he's going to end up putting up really good numbers.
That's in there for a strike. Yeah, I'm with you. 3-1. And a foul ball. And again, I think, you know, the body language police, I think a lot of times people don't realize that they're marrying results to what they think they're seeing. Inside, and he almost hit him. And Tucker will take his base. 1 out and a man aboard. You know,
yeah,
so
it's interesting. We always want that guy, and this is what you're taught from the minute you enter professional baseball. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Steady as she goes.
Yep.
Don't freak out when things aren't going your way. And,
yep.
you know, so when that player is performing at a high level, you honor all those traits. When he's scuffling, you go, this dude doesn't care.
Yes.
I want him to throw his bat. I want him to lose his mind.
Yep. When I did the Marlins in Miami, they had an eventual Cub who was a monster in Derek Lee. But Derek Lee had stretches where he would strike out a lot, and he was a low heartbeat guy. And he would be contrasted with Mike Lowell, who was a snapper, a helmet thrower. And so when both weren't performing well, there was like a narrative that Mike cared more than Derek. And it just wasn't the case. Derek gave me one of the all-time greatest lines ever. I asked him one time, I asked Derek Lee, why don't you snap, or do you ever think about snapping? And he said, I do. But then I think about the phone call I'm going to get from my mom, and she will say to me, what is that childish behavior going to do to enhance your performance?
Listen to Mom. Mom knows.
And I'm just such a D. Lee is just incredible as a player, as a human. But that insight I loved, and I actually got to share that with Derek Lee's mom. And she was delighted, because it's like you never know whether the kids are actually listening.
Yeah. It would have been funny if Mom would have said, yeah, but I wish you would have snapped just maybe once or twice.
Once or twice. Yeah. Throw a helmet. And that 05 campaign for Derek Lee is one of the better offensive and overall seasons we've seen in a Cub uniform. Time called late. Cubs lead at 6-3. They were down early 3-0. 5 pitches into the game, they were down 3-0.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good, Boog. Was not looking good at all. Matthew Boyd has settled in. The offense has responded in a big way. That guy, 2-run jack.
Line drive and a base hit out into center field. Dave Roberts. Cubs are hoping it goes to 52-5. Dave Roberts and Jed Hoyer go back a long way. Obviously, Dave with one of the most famous stolen bases in the history of baseball in 2004, when Jed and Theo were in Boston. But then also Jed and Dave know each other from San Diego. Kike Hernandez fouls that one off.
Dave Roberts now 4th all-time in Dodger wins, managerial wins.
Popped up. Corner going out, infield fly, and he gives way to Seiya Suzuki. JD, you feel like playing mound ball?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Mound ball presented by Tasty Trade. If the ball stayed on the mound, Cubs season ticket holder Tyler Gold would have won the $3,000 Tasty Trade jackpot. Unfortunately, it didn't land on the mound. Tasty Trade stocks, options, futures, crypto. Oh, you're still a winner in our books. That is a great shirt. Line drive, that's into center field. And PCA trying to smother that one on an in-between hop, and ultimately Tucker comes home. That was rope.
Yeah, Tucker was actually stopping at third base, which is a little bit surprising with 2 outs, and then with the mishandle, he decided to come home. Evil with the stop sign, and then PCA doesn't get it cleanly, so should be an E8.
It is single, no RBI, E8. And now a dangerous spot at 6-4, and Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani, a pair of singles.
Couple of softies. Normally this guy's known for hitting the ball really hard, but that has not been the case here tonight. Little push flare, and then this little softie just beyond a diving Nico Horner. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, come on. 2 on, 2 out. Center field, shallow, PCA coming on. He's got it. And Ohtani is out. Dodgers score once, they leave a couple. Cubs still lead midway in the 4th.
Hi, brought to you by American Airlines. Kevin Alcantara with his first big league home run in the 2nd inning. Jumped all over this one. 395 feet. Score your next flight at AA.com. Hit 17 of them down at AAA Iowa this year, but his first as a big leaguer.
How about Kevin Alcantara? First time up. Jed Hoyer telling us that he called the homer. He said, you get here so late. And it is true. You don't usually see a guy hit a foul homer and then a fair homer. Or at least I agree with the idea that that's true. I don't think we could ever actually get to the bottom of that one. That feels like normal. That's a you theory.
Let's start, taking notes now.
Yeah, I mean, which I'm in on. Check swing.
Boom. I don't know.
2-2. Off the outside edge. Yeah, homers. I mean, JD, do you want to sing our song?
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Regression.
Regression session. What's your question?
He's a guy that puts the ball in the air a lot.
Yep.
But the home run per fly ball rate was artificially low, so he felt like he was due to give up some long ones. But 7 now in his last 2 starts.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented by Fast Play from the Illinois Lottery. Download the Illinois Lottery app to play today. You're such a dork.
What's that?
You.
Why?
His fly ball rate was artificially inflated.
His home run to fly ball rate,
yeah,
is well below league average. So he just figured like 12% of all fly balls leave the ballpark. And I'm just making that up, but I think it's around that range. And he was like half that.
My guy is a treasure. Pitched 9 years in the majors, nerd. It's the most loving. I'm sorry, Jim. By the way, that was the Budweiser broadcast booth. Cubs fans for 150 years. This Bud's for you.
I embrace the nerd.
Yeah, me too.
I'm down with it.
I know.
I watch Jeopardy.
I know. Oh, I know you do. The 1-2. Popped foul. You watch it in between Seinfeld episodes, right?
Yeah. It's always, we DVR, and if you can't find anything, think of anything to watch, hey, let's just watch a couple Jeopardies. We had Jeopardy James up here in the booth a few years back. James Holzhauer when he was on his big run.
Well, and then the guy that's hosting now.
Yeah, I miss Ken Jennings. I wasn't here when Ken was out here.
Sorry.
Very disappointed, yeah.
I took a picture with him.
So, Ken, if you're watching, come on back.
Yeah. There's a 1-2. Way outside.
I heard a rumor today.
What's that?
Speaking of guests coming by the booth.
Who's coming by?
Oh, tomorrow.
What do you, me too. In the air, center field. Paul Ramirez ranging back, and he makes the catch.
One of the great stretch singers of all time will be here tomorrow. The one and only Cookie Monster.
The Cookie Monster?
The one and only.
Seiya Suzuki 1 out of 2 with a homer.
In terms of quality of contact, the Cubs have it all over the Dodgers here tonight. They've been hitting the ball hard. The Dodgers, not so much. Still managed to put 4 runs on the board, and we're only in the 4th inning.
Popped up. I can't find it, Jim.
That's over here by the first base dugout.
Freddie Freeman. So Suzuki retired. Swing and a miss. Downstairs, T-Mac.
Has there been a guy who changes his walkout song more than Alex Bregman? Because the song was just playing. I believe it's something by Zach Bryan, and I'm like, who's coming up? I don't recognize that. Revival.
There it is.
It's like every day he changes.
Hey, you just.
No, I'm not. I'm just pointing out facts.
Switch the bat, switch the song.
Exactly.
T-Mac, are you superstitious?
Just a little stitious.
I know. JD, did you have Cookie Monster as a kid? Like, did you watch Sesame Street? Not really.
No,
right?
no.
We're too old.
Too old for that. Captain Kangaroo, yeah.
Sure. Yes. T-Mac, does Cookie Monster resonate with you at all?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Not, but you know what does resonate
Elmo?
with me? I have seen video of the Cookie Monster singing the stretch.
Oh, yeah.
So I have seen that.
Okay. We'll break down all the children's programs when we come back. Cubs lead 6-4. Fans envying the Chicago Cubs are teaming up to strike out cancer. Roughly 241 Americans are diagnosed with cancer every hour. For each Cubs strikeout at Wrigley this season, AbbVie will donate $241 to Cubs charities. Oh! Ramirez at third! What a play!
Way to go, Pedro, indeed. Sparkling, spectacular play by Pedro Ramirez. Eyes with designs on a leadoff double, but denied.
That is a gorgeous play. I asked Jonathan Moda, where do you think he is best? He said third. But he could play second, short if you need it, and I would say outfield as well.
Xfinity high-speed play. Brilliant work.
JD, did I finish the AbbVie read?
I don't know. I think somewhere along the way you went, no!
I did. I just. Look out.
Fire in the hole.
Oh, I heard there's a young woman who's a reporter down there.
Yeah. Either that or Ben Brown's got a real high voice. I don't know.
Might have heard her. I don't even know if we had a mic. Yeah, there she is.
Unfortunately for everyone else,
it's
not even remotely near me, and I still scream.
That is amazing. JD, we're going to do something. We're going to roll a replay soft full. Listen in, everybody. Listen for Taylor McGregor.
Well, it was in the general vicinity.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. I don't have reaction time to some of these guys.
Yeah.
Ball had some hair on it, too.
Anything in this vicinity, you better believe I'm ducking for cover. Head on a swivel.
There is something really great about the netting in front of her and the camera, so that basically anytime we show, so that every time, here I am, it's me. Swing and a miss. Edman is gone. Boyd gets him on the change piece.
Edman hit the big 3-run home run in the first inning. Matthew has taken a little measure of revenge, striking him out twice in a row now. Not a great changeup, but got the job done.
Dansby Swanson collects, and he steals a hit from his old friend. I'm thinking Dansby enjoyed that.
Well, thanks to Carson Kelly and his 2-run home run, the Cubs have a 6-4 lead. Carson Kelly working with Dustin Kelly before the game, Cubs hitting coach, on closing off his body more. So we're going to show you a side-by-side of where he was at before tonight and then tonight. We'll show you after the pitch. All right, here's the split. So on the left is earlier in the season, and then on the right is tonight. You can see that it would be his left toe, but on the right side of your screen, a little bit more closed off. It's very minor, but Carson said when he was at his best last year, his body was much more closed off. He has not been happy with his ground ball rate this season. He has about a 49% ground ball rate, which, for reference, last year he had a 38% ground ball rate. We know slug is in the air, so it's certainly been something he's trying to figure out so that he can get a little bit more of that power, and perhaps some of the pregame work. Boog helped with the 2-run home run.
Well, you certainly could see in those pictures how tonight the toes and his feet are pointed back towards the catcher, Eliezer Alfonso. One away, Kelly retired on the ground ball, and Michael Busch pops one up. That's drilled out towards left center field. It's got some carry. It's gone. And Michael Busch with number 14. 7-4 Cubs.
That's the 4th long ball from the Cubs here tonight. Number 14 for Michael Busch, the former Dodger. Takes another bite out of Robleski, who's now allowed 8 home runs in his last 2 starts. The friendly confines, not so friendly to Robleski here tonight. He's like, well, you got to be kidding me, man. It's not a home run in Dodger Stadium.
Edgardo Enriquez coming in as pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
Folks, Friday, August 14th, the Cubs host the Cardinals in a 3-game series. That's Friday the 14th. That's not unlucky. Tickets are still available at Cubs.com/tickets. Well, this dude, Edgardo Enriquez, on for the 43rd time, and he's got a big arm, folks. 100-mile-an-hour sinker from this guy. 2.72 the ERA. He's allowed just the 1 long ball in 43 innings. .6'4", 200 plus from Venezuela.
Chris Siegel checking it out. Does he need a new one? Kids, let's charge. All right, Chris. Let's charge our pitch comms and make sure the volume is up. I've said this before. So, like, this is what happens. A guy goes, they put the pitch comm in his hat, and then he throws all his warm-up pitches not using pitch comm. They use signals. And then the first pitch happens, and it's like, I can't hear anything.
And I still can't hear. One's a fastball, two's a curve. That always works.
How about ball one? And I said it the other day in Chris Siegel's. Was that going to be a mound visit? No mound visit. All right. I have low tolerance for the pitch comms.
You do not. You do not. You're over it.
Well, at this point, we've had pitch comm now for a while.
Yeah.
Check to make sure the volume's up. I don't care whether it's the Cubs or the Dodgers. Let's go. Swing and a miss.
Feisty Boog. I like Feisty Boog.
I mean, if that isn't some get off my lawn stuff. Move it along. I like yours too. Like, did you forget? You know, you played your whole life with 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they should be able to just go back to the fingers. I mean, this dude, he just needs to look in there and go, here comes a 100-mile-an-hour sinker.
Yeah.
See what you can do with it.
Swing and a miss, and Horner is down on strikes, and Nico what's he asking?
I'm not sure what went down there, Boog. Question about the count, maybe? See, they're stepping out from behind home plate as they reset the clock.
Enriquez with Ramirez stepping in, turns around and hits left-handed. And that one in there at 100. Actually throws his sinker harder. Oh boy.
Boog action. If we had a net, we might have been able to catch that one.
Think so?
Well, we'd have to have a real long handle.
Hey, what happened down there?
Everybody okay?
There you go. Didn't go. Brian O'Nora down there. He doesn't do the Laz Diaz vroom vroom motorcycle thing, but Cubs lead at 7-4. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss, and Ramirez is gone. Well, the Cubs have used 4 homers here tonight. It started with Seiya to get the Cubs within 1. Alcantara's first big league homer in the league. Kelly, and now one more.
Postseason run, and then of course end their 108-year World Series championship drought. Now in that deal, the Cubs sent Gleyber Torres, Adam Warren, Billy McKinney, and Rashad Crawford to New York. I would say Cubs won the deal. Why? Well, because they won a World Series. Love when that happens, Boog.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the whole point is winning the World Series, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
you can't really lose. Can you lose the trade? You know what I mean?
No. No. At times you have to go all in.
Yeah. Shortstop Dansby Swanson.
Folks, the 50-50 raffle is featuring a mega jackpot. Fans in Illinois can purchase tickets at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning of each game. Now through the end of this Wednesday's game versus the Dodgers.
Wow.
Guaranteed you 200 grand. We're up over 224 grand as we speak. That's going to get big.
Ball and no strikes on Tucker. Walked his last time up. Boyd deals. There comes a 1-1. Matthew Boyd, the Cubs opening day starter. And remember, it wasn't just the knee. He went on the IL early with some biceps issues. Dropped down a little bit that time. Cubs pounced on Boyd right after the free agency window opened in December 24. It's been a pretty darn good marriage.
Yeah, sure has. An all-star last year, pitching like one right now.
Boyd ready, the 2-2. Cubs lead at 7-4. Each side with 7 hits. Cubs with the game's only error. 2-2. Drilled to right. And back is Suzuki. It's over his head and off the wall. And racing for second. Tucker got him. Seiya Suzuki continues to play marvelous defense in right field.
It's a spectacular play by Ramirez at third. Dansby on Freeman up the middle. And now Seiya plays this ball perfectly. One hopper to Swanson. Tag applied. Tucker out. Again, Cubs flashing leather.
I mean, that Tucker's running hard. He absolutely should be trying it. And Seiya just made the play.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a bad base running decision at all. Looked like he was going hard out of the box.
Cubs now with 19 outfield assists, second in the National League, only the Dodgers with more.
You're going to challenge this one, Boog.
The batter is challenging the strike call.
Teoscar Hernandez.
It looked high.
And it was.
Pitches the ball. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
See, Teoscar Hernandez has that elbow guard and shin guard with all the multicolored puzzle pieces, plus a hand guard in a similar design. He does that basically to honor his son Teo Jr. and also because it's so colorful, his son has autism, and so he's a big advocate for autism awareness. Yeah, there it is right there. High fly ball left field, no doubt about that one. On its way and on to Waveland. Whoa. How big is that play by Seiya now?
I'll say. Good thing you don't get extra points for distance.
And for Teoscar, home run number 11. 7-5 game.
Yeah, he just drove the green on a par 4. And again, the numbers we saw earlier, it's not a helping wind here. Maybe a little help in that direction.
Yeah, there have been some balls that have been clobbered. Challenge there from Carson Kelly.
Challenging the ball call.
Carson Kelly, ABS powered by T-Mobile. Carson is the king. Remember that. Bang.
Strike.
On 1. Kike Hernandez at the plate. Max Muncy sitting here tonight. It's bounced to third. Dino Ebel, third base coach.
You're no evil.
There he is. How about this? Dino Ebel, 2 sons both selected in the last 2 drafts in the first round, both by the Brewers. Kike Hernandez down on strikes, didn't like the call. Matthew Boyd did, and he'll take it. Beautiful shots from our Megalodon camera, powered by Nissan. Visit nissanusa.com or your local dealer. Bottom of the 6th, Cubs coming up to hit, and Michael Phelps down in the front row. All-time 23 gold medals, most ever by any athlete. So Phelps, Odenkirk, Garland. Not sure who Michael's team is or was. I'm pretty sure he grew up in Maryland, so maybe an Orioles fan, but now he's out in Arizona. I'm not sure, but I know Bob Odenkirk and Jeff Garland are ride or die Cubs folk. The 1-2 on Dansby. I love that big smile Dansby gave Freddie Freeman as he stole that hit from him. I'm sure Freddie didn't enjoy it quite so much. 7-5 Cubs. And a 1-2 misses outside.
Dodgers using this hard throwing Enriquez in the game. They're trailing in the middle innings. I wouldn't be surprised to see that profile escalate as we get closer to the postseason. This stuff, man, it looks like it would play high leverage.
Line drive, right center field, and a base hit for Dansby. Takes a big turn, but he'll stay put. And the leadoff man is aboard.
Hit number 8 for the Cubs. Well, moving in on Dansby a little bit, but it's up, and he's able to level off that swing. Deliver a solid single. That's good baseball right there. Go hard, big turn. A little misplay, maybe you get to second base.
And now meeting on the mound, and old friend Mark Pryor, 7th year as the pitching coach for the Dodgers.
Going over a scouting report on Ian Happ. Take the at bat here for Alcantara. So yeah, you might want to try that 100-mile-an-hour sinker. Robleski, the starter, went 4 1/3, allowed 7 hits, 7 runs. They were all earned. He walked 3, 4 home runs.
So 8 homers allowed in his last 2 starts. Did that without the aid of a calculator.
Yeah, that's good math.
Tonight's just the 6th game this year that Happ did not start. You know, it's funny, you look at trying to give a guy a day off, and then also the way benches are set up. Less guys than, say, 20 years ago. Fewer guys.
And then there's more pitchers.
Yeah, and then you utilize so many different pitchers. Back in the day, you wouldn't be probably as interested in getting a platoon advantage. I think sometimes guy would get a straight day off.
Like the focus is just you're resting today,
yeah.
Mental day. Don't even think about. Sometimes the manager would tell a guy, don't even put your spikes on.
Yeah.
I'm going to use you.
Yes.
I don't want to be tempted to use you.
Yes.
But you have fewer options with a shorter bench.
Inside corner. Ian Happ, by the way, that was a ball. Since the start of 22, he's got the most starts in the majors among outfielders. Enriquez, there goes Dansby. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Tag out. And Dansby knew it. First time he's been caught this year.
Yeah, he was 15 for 15 prior to this one. Like Michael Phelps reaching for the wall.
Eliezer Alfonso. And Happ will take his base. And now it's Pete Crow Armstrong. Spins PCA out of there. Pete 1 for 3 tonight with a single. And he scored on Seiya Suzuki's homer.
Feel like he's due to do something big here tonight. Ooh.
Did you say due to do?
Well, I said ooh because it was right down the middle, but it's 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
One of those ones you watch, you go, why didn't you hit that? That was a hundy. Thought maybe I'd see a slider.
We're in the bottom of the 6th. Cubs lead at 7-5. Happ at first, 1 out. And that misses. 3-1. Dodgers have the lefty Tanner Scott up and loosening.
Batter has 375 to 400 milliseconds to react to a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. So it's less than half a second, 0.4 seconds.
Three and 2, man at first, 1 out. And time call. Enriquez, hard thrower, that 25% K rate, but he does walk people. His walk rate 11%. Big league average is 8.9. That's low, ball 4, and Pete is aboard. You look at the shift, and it's just unprecedented. From 2025, a guy with sub 5 walk rate is now sitting at 12%. His on base is up almost 100 points. He's swinging less. He's chasing less, seeing more pitches per plate appearance. Here's the other thing. It's not quite as simple as just swinging less. There's a very clear plan in place because he's swinging in zone less. He's swinging at the first pitch less. So he's really, I think Alex Bregman has factored in. He's really looked at what type of strike am I looking to get.
Yeah, I think, you took a guy who was an anxious hitter, hyper aggressive hitter, and he has completely flipped that narrative. I always talk about the comp with the buffet, right? He's waiting to see what's waiting at the end of the carving station there at the end of the buffet line. That's where the good stuff is.
Ball one to Seiya Suzuki. Do you do that at the buffet line?
I've made that mistake many times. I get to the end, my plate is full, and they're carving some nice prime rib, but I got no room.
What's the last good buffet you've been to?
I don't know, probably a wedding or something.
Yeah. Seiya Suzuki, a homer that extended his on base streak to 21 straight. He hits with 2 on and 1 out. Righty deals.
Chance to do some damage here. It's just a 2-run lead. There's still a lot of baseball to be played here. Go ahead, Seiya. Get yourself a slab of prime rib right here.
Inside. And now it's 3-0.
Manager scolding the pitching coach when the guy can't throw strikes.
That's not what's happening there.
What's going on, Mark? He's told me this guy throws strikes for us.
The 3-0. In for a strike.
Taking all the way.
(3-1). Fouled into the mitt of Alfonso. Say had a good rip at it. (3-2). Off the outside edge. Good take. And this is where this Cubs lineup is really tough to deal with. You're going to bring in a guy who has below average command and hope for chase. More often than not, this team is going to wait you out.
Yeah, well, Ian Happ, that's always been his game. It is now part of what PCA does. And Suzuki as well. Great discipline. Hey, folks, this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Award-winning country artist Ashley McBride is coming to Gallagher Way on August 8th. Right here just outside of Wrigley Field. General admission and VIP tickets are available. Get tickets at GallagherWay.com.
New pitcher into the game is Tanner Scott.
The veteran left-hander putting together a solid season. 44 2/3 innings and a 2.42 ERA. Walks have not been an issue for him.
Scott delivers down and in.
Basically a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider. Fastball averaging right around 97 miles per hour.
Swing and a miss. They signed him to this 4-year, $72 million deal prior to last season, and they expected him to close for them. And ultimately, in 61 appearances, he dealt with some injury at a 4.74 ERA. Swing and a miss. Wow.
Showed you those splits, how he's tough on both lefties and righties. That's a big reason why that slider right there just disappearing beneath the barrel.
Slider, slider, slider. And Bregman is gone. Here's Carson Kelly now.
Fastball probably a little bit inside. It was
by a smidge. Cubs lead 7-5, bottom 6 with 2 outs. Kelly gets the arms extended, but that one pushed foul down the right side and out of play. All loaded up.
Maybe learn something from the Bregman at bat, able to lay off that chase slider.
Check swing. Room. There's Scott, at 32 years old, originally drafted by the Orioles, debuted with Baltimore in 2017.
Dodgers bullpen collectively a 3.99 ERA, kind of middle of the pack in MLB. Their starters have been outstanding, second only to the Brewers in earned run average.
Two and two, here it comes. And he held up that time. You can see Scott pumping up that pitch come. Here comes the crowd.
He knew the crowd was good, starting to make some noise.
Well, Happ at third, Crow Armstrong at second, Suzuki at first. In there, and a challenge from Carson Kelly.
The catcher is challenging the strike call.
Be curious to see, obviously.
Ball.
Yeah.
And it's a run.
Surprised they don't ask for an appeal at first base on whether it was a swing or not. Great work by Kelly, working that walk. Insurance runs are brought to you by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and people strategy partner. No, he didn't swing, and the ball was low. Great work, Carson Kelly, the king of the challenge.
On the ground, through the right side, whole base hit. PCA is in. Suzuki on his heels. Throw gets away, and now racing for second is Michael Busch, and the Cubs now lead at 10-5.
Well, you got to make him pay all those walks. They cash him in. Michael Busch, who homered last time, solid single through the hole on the right side, and Cubs have put a 10 spot up. Worked hard to get on top of that one.
It'll go as a 2-run single, and then an E9 that lets that lets Bush get to second. And now time called. Nika will step out. 10-5. Cubs with the lead. The 0-1. In for a strike. Corner against Scott. And a swing and a miss, and Nico is gone on strikes. Cubs scored 3 times and increased the lead. It's 10-5.
Here tonight, but there's been some sparkling defense too. How about Pedro Ramirez? Backhand, one hop throw. Dansby doing Dansby things up the middle. It's his old buddy Freddie Freeman, and then Seiya plays this ball perfectly off the wall. Kyle Tucker, a bid for a double. Nope, not going to happen. And Matthew Boyd fired up. Fans are getting their money's worth here tonight.
Yeah, they are. Eliezer Alfonso, and that's in for a strike. There's Ian Happ. He's into the game and left. So we're in the 7th. 88 pitches for Matthew Boyd, who's gone at least 7 each of his last 2 starts. Now towards left center field, Happ right there.
Cub fans, visit Cubs Trending inside the Marquee Sports app for all the top highlights, interviews, and must-watch moments all season long. Presented by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Shohei Ohtani now. Ohtani, a pair of singles, and he's flied out. And a swing and a miss. On the ground, Nico Horner gathers it in. 2 outs.
And we talk a lot about the third time through the lineup penalty. You know, pitchers tend to give up big numbers.
Yes.
This is a 4th time through now for Boyd against the top of the order, but that will end it right there.
Craig Counsell summoning Trent Thornton, and we've got a pitching change. And listen to this hand for Matthew Boyd. Back here at Wrigley, Cubs enjoying a 10-5 lead on the Dodgers. And a peek out in the bleachers as Trent Thornton will take over, facing Andy Pages. And the pitch. JD?
Yes.
This pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
Yeah, it's time for Trent Thornton for the 32nd time.
A lot of contact, a lot of ground balls, not a ton of strikeouts, but he's done good work. If you're just joining us, where you been? Cubs down early 3-0. And a rally. They've used the home run ball here tonight. And then also talk about a busy, 36 hours Kevin Gausman, Clay Holmes, Tyrone Taylor, Ryan Zefferjon.
Yeah, well, you know, Jed Hoyer, Carter Hawkins said they were targeting pitching at the trade deadline, and they delivered. Braxton Garrett also over from the Marlins. He'll go to Iowa. Not sure exactly when Gausman will get his first turn. Clay Holmes coming off an injury, had a broken leg. And Tyrone Taylor's got really good numbers against left-handed pitching.
2-2. A bit high. And then you got all these guys making their way back in terms of rehab, whether it's Palencia, Hobie Milner, Edward Cabrera, Ben Brown, Justin Steele, Gavin Hollowell.
And both these clubs, a lot of pitchers on the injured list right now, and yeah, so you know, obviously reinforcements coming because of the trades, but also those injured players getting healthy again. The downside, you know, some of these guys that are currently part of the mix will not be. You know, you're trying to win, so
yes,
I was looking to upgrade your roster.
Three-two. And pop foul. Pages hanging in there.
It's a diverse mix for Thornton. Four-seamer, cutter, slider, curve, sinker, change.
Popped him up. Right side. And Michael Busch on the dirt. He's got it. Our seventh inning stretch brought to you by Budweiser. For 150 years, this Bud's for you.
Tonight's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ballgame: Penn State volleyball players Candy Martin, Caroline Juravicius, and head coach Katie Schumacher-Colley.
All right, Cubs fans, let me hear ya! A two, a three. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back from the root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes and you're out at the old ball game. Woo! Let's get some runs! Woo!
Bottom of the seventh. And the Cubs enjoying a 10-5 lead. Here's Jonathan Hernandez to take over. And he fires a strike to Pedro Ramirez.
Yeah, among the many things the Dodgers lead the league in is Hernandez. This is the third Hernandez to appear in this game for the Dodgers tonight.
Wow.
Well, Kike, Teoscar, and now Jonathan. It's got to be confusing when you take roll call.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. And Jonathan Hernandez gets Ramirez with the strikeout. JD,
Yes.
if you were Teoscar or Kike or Jonathan, would you want them to put an initial up front?
Sure. Haven't given it a whole lot of thought.
Yeah.
This is Hernandez's first appearance in the big league since June 29th. Overall, in a Dodger uniform, had not gone particularly well for him. An 8.15 ERA for 17 2/3. Walked 12 and allowed 4 homers.
On the ground up the middle, and that's a base hit. So Dansby Swanson with the single. Jose Javier and Dansby and Freddie go back, of course, their time in Atlanta together. Those guys won it all in 2021. It's serious time over there. Here's Happ now. And a swing and a miss. Ian Happ walked as a pinch hitter in the 6th and then stayed in the game. Jonathan Hernandez on here, replacing Tanner Scott. So he's the 4th pitcher in this game for the Dodgers. The 2-1.
Derek Skubal will make his Dodger debut tomorrow. Javier Assad is scheduled for the Cubs.
2-2. There he is. You know that Tarek in Arabic means strike?
I do. I looked that up earlier today, as a matter of fact.
He's never pitched at Wrigley before.
He's of Czech descent, so Tarek is an Arab name, but his parents just were going through one of those baby books and they saw the name and they liked it. Also means something like night knocker or something like that. Somebody comes knocking at your door at night. Yeah, you can look it up. Very chatty. Getting to know his new mates.
Happ fouls it away. You know, who was telling me? I think somebody was just telling me that they have, for baby names for husband and wife, they have a version of an app that's like Tinder, and you basically just get names, and then so that you're honest about it, you each swipe on the names you like, see what you match on.
Oh, okay.
Happ down on strikes, and there's 2 away.
You know what they say, Boog.
What's that?
There's an app for everything.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But you know what I was going to say about Tarek?
Yeah.
His first love was basketball. He dreamt of playing college basketball, not college baseball. So maybe his name means strike, but for a while, he was just trying to strike buckets.
How about that? I grew up out there in the Pacific Northwest. You know, Matthew Boyd has a connection to him. And Pete hammers that one foul.
Yeah, so the story is Tarek went to Seattle U, and Matthew Boyd was back with the Tigers, and they were filming something at Seattle U, and the pitching coach there said, hey, Matthew, just come watch this kid throw a bullpen. And so he watched the bullpen, didn't think much of it, and then fast forward to the Tigers drafting Tarek. And that same coach calls Matthew and says, hey, remember that kid who you watch throw a bullpen, yeah, they just drafted. The Tigers just drafted him. So
wow,
kind of full circle moment. And then the two have remained really good friends. In fact, Matthew Boyd taught Tarek Skubal his changeup.
Oh no!
Don't tell the Cub hitters that.
Take it back.
Matthew Boyd got jumped early, allowed that 3-run home run in the first. To Tommy Edman, settled in, hung in there, ends up going 6 2/3.
Really nice effort. As a general idea, I think he would really just like that pitch to Edman back, but beyond that, I thought it was a real.
Yeah, there's a lot of soft contact. Some of the hits he gave up. Teoscar's home run, obviously not a softie. Another good take by PCA, and then bag for Dansby.
So Dansby swipes the bag.
Hey, this slide is brought to you by Wisconsin Dells. Playing your getaway at wisdells.com.
PCA frustrated as he got under that, pops to right. By the way, it was Alex Cohen. It's called Kinder. Alex and Tessa expecting their.
Oh, okay. Kinder.
Back here as we go to the 8th. Tommy Edman will hit. Cubs lead at 10-5. Says it right there on the marquee. And Trent Thornton deals a strike to Edman. Turns around to hit left-handed for the first time tonight. Fly ball left field. Ian Happ. One away, and it's time for our game summary brought to you by Wintrust. Well, 5 pitches in, it was 3-0 Dodgers after the Edman homer, but Suzuki homered with a man aboard in the first. Alcantara's first major league homer made it 4-3, and the Cubs have added 2-run homer from Kelly, a solo blast from Bush, lead at 10-5. And now Freddie Freeman. Yeah, there's a strike to Freddie. JD.
Yes. Freddie
Freeman with a hit tonight. He has 2,560 hits. Is he going to get 3,000 hits?
Well, he's showing no signs of slowing down. He's been every bit as good in a Dodger uniform as he was with the Braves. He makes the All-Star team every year. He's a lifetime 300 hitter. Only Andrew McCutchen has played more games among actives, and McCutchen's currently in the minor leagues.
With the Braves. Yeah, Freddie's going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I think it'd be neat just because it just seems like so many of those counting stats numbers, 300 wins, 3,000 hits, just getting harder and harder for guys to get there. I mean, he's 36. My thought would be 440 hits if he really wants to get 3,000 hits. I think he should be able to do it. Conservatively, he'd probably need to play 3 more seasons, 3 more full seasons. Maybe a smidge more, depending if he's not a regular by the backside of that. Foul tipped into the mid of Kelly, struck him out.
Well, typically guys his age are in decline, but the stars, they don't follow that same aging curve as most guys. Trent doesn't get many punch outs. He beats Freeman with a good high heater there.
Only 3 players who debuted in 2000 or later have come up with 3,000 hits. Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, and Ichiro. Two down, bases clear.
The catcher's challenging the ball call.
Catcher's challenging the ball call. ABS powered by T-Mobile, and it's a ball.
Pitch is a ball. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
Betts back in 2-1 on Mookie. Those initials, MLB. He's got 304 career homers, most all time by a player with those initials. Marcus Lynn Betts, the nickname from the basketball player. Not the baseball player, the basketball player. Mookie Blaylock.
Mookie Blaylock. Not Mookie Wilson.
Correct.
Not Mookie Bernstein.
It's brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. By Prevagen, made for the brain. And by Wintrust, different approach, better results. Big night in the home run department for the Cubs. As Jonathan Hernandez delivers inside. These offenses are fairly similar. I mean, in terms of if you're leaning on base and slug, they both lean more towards on base than slug. Although the Dodgers are second in the majors in slug, they're 7th in homers. The 1-2. Oh, just missed.
Yeah, he did.
I got it.
Teoscar Hernandez, say a little frustrated. He got a hanger.
The cement mixer backed up and just got underneath it a little bit.
All right, so here they are head to head. Basically the same in terms of runs per game on base. The WOBA, the advantage is to the Dodgers. Weighted runs created plus. Slight advantage to the Dodgers. Kike Hernandez. And Freeman tags out Bregman. Hey, check this out. So last time Carson Kelly came up to hit, he had the bases loaded and he challenged and ended up getting an overturn at ball 4. But Kelly's at the plate. He's the batter. He's the batter challenging, not the catcher. But he's a batter who's a catcher, Chris Siegel.
The catcher is challenging the strike call.
I mean, that is still factually correct. The catcher was challenging the strike call, only the catcher was batting. It's funny. It's one of those. It's a little bit of a glimpse into Chris Siegel's brain. Hammered to center. And Pages is there. He's processing that Carson's the catcher. We'll go to the ninth. Welcome back as the Cubs lead the Dodgers 10-5. And the Cubs with 4 strikeouts tonight to help AbbVie's Striking Out Cancer initiative. AbbVie, people, passion, possibilities.
Oh, Jake Woodford out there to try to finish this ball game off. It'll just be his second appearance in a Cub uniform. Yeah. It's almost like something has transgressed between Kyle's first at bat and this one.
Yes.
Transgressed, transpired, happened. Some people have a way with words, some not have way.
Him have way.
Him say
strike.
Yeah, he was with Milwaukee earlier. Bounced up and down, minor leagues mostly. I mentioned just his second appearance with the big club here.
And a base hit for Kyle Tucker.
Well, things can happen in a hurry with this Dodger lineup, so Craig Counsell won't wait long to activate that bullpen if they put a little rally together here. Caleb Thielbar was up last inning, but Craig hoping to stay away from him here with his 5-run lead in the ninth.
So man at first, nobody out. Oscar Hernandez, a homer his last time up. It was a mammoth blast.
Jake Woodford pitched at went to high school, Plant High School in Florida. That's the same school that Tucker went to, right?
Indeed.
I wonder if they were teammates there. Around the same age. Jake first came to the big leagues in the 2020 season with the Cardinals. He was 23. Parts of 5 seasons there. Last year he was with the Diamondbacks. He's also spent a little time with the White Sox and the Pirates. A little over 4 years of major league service time.
Yeah, they'd have to be.
Yeah, they're right.
Because yeah, they were both first rounders in 2015. So.
Jake lifetime 11-17 with a 5.31 ERA. 128 big league appearances, 25 starts.
Ramirez to Horner on the first, double play.
Around the horn, double play they go. 5-4-3. Calm everything down out there in that Cub bullpen. Alex Call off the bench to take the at bat. Waiting for this guy for better than 3 hours.
Alex Call at the plate, and a reminder, Cubs post-game live is coming up next. Cole and Cliff. And now 2-0. Dodgers will have Tarek Skubal making his Dodger debut tomorrow night against Javier Assad.
Cubs with the chance to pick up a game on the Brewers. They got beat 4-3 by the Pirates tonight in Milwaukee.
There's a strike.
Brewers added a couple of pitchers today, Dustin May and JoJo Romero from the Cardinals.
Strike two. There we go. 3-2, 2 outs, bases empty, top 9. Woodford, payoff pitch. And that's your ball game. Cubs win. Good night at the ballpark. Cubs use the home run ball and take the opener 10-5. Sing that song.